I have a business degree. I was a project coordinator. Amy, please, I didn't mean, oh, I know exactly what you meant. She was practically shrieking now. You think I'm a freeloader? You think I'm lazy? You can't stand the fact that I'm not working, so you're trying to force me into some degrading position. Just then, Tommy walked through the front door, his timing impossibly bad. What's going on? He asked, looking between us. Amy rushed to him, tears streaming down her face. Your mother just insulted me again. She thinks I'm a freeloader. She's trying to force me to take some menial job as an office manager. I stood up, my hands shaking. Tommy, that's not true. I was just trying to help. There's an opening at my company, and I thought, Mom, stop. Tommy's voice cut through the room like a knife. Why do you always have to do this? Why can't you just leave Amy alone? Do what? I asked, genuinely confused. I'm just trying to help. Help? Amy scoffed through her tears. You're trying to humiliate me. She ran up the stairs, her dramatic sobs echoing through the house. Tommy gave me a look of pure disappointment. I never thought you could be so difficult to live with, Mom, he said, shaking his head. You're constantly starting drama? It's like you can't help yourself. He followed his wife upstairs, leaving me standing alone in the living room. I sank back into my chair, my half-finished coffee growing cold in my hands. Starting drama, I whispered to myself, the words tasting bitter in my mouth. In all my 62 years, no one had ever accused me of being dramatic. The days turned into weeks, and I learned to keep my mouth shut about the job situation. The mere mention of work would make Amy's eyes narrow dangerously, so I stopped bringing it up altogether. It was easier that way, even if it meant watching her waste her days away on my couch. Things changed when Tommy got his first big commission at work. Suddenly, Amy was going out more often, returning with shopping bags from expensive boutiques and fresh manicures that probably cost more than our weekly grocery bill. Not once did she think to pick up laundry detergent or paper towels. Those mundane household items remained my responsibility. I kept hoping that with Tommy's improved income, they'd start looking for their own place. Each morning, I'd check the local rental listings on my phone, imagining them finding a nice apartment across town. But they seemed perfectly content to stay put, making themselves more and more at home in my house. One evening, I came home to find Amy excitedly chatting on her phone in my living room. Oh my God, yes, the house is absolutely perfect for a party, she was saying. You should see the vintage chandelier in the dining room. It'll look amazing in photos. I set down my briefcase, my stomach already nodding. What party? She hung up and turned to Tommy, who had just walked in. Babe, we should definitely have our anniversary party here. Can you believe it's been almost 2 years? Where exactly are you planning to have this party? I asked, though I already knew the answer. Here, of course, Amy gestured around my living room. This house is gorgeous, Caroline. All our friends will love it. I'm thinking we could set up the bar in the foyer and maybe move some furniture around in the living room to create a dance floor. Shouldn't you have asked me first? I interrupted, trying to keep my voice level. But Amy was already scrolling through her phone. We should invite the Hendersons, and maybe that new couple from your office, Tommy. Oh, and we absolutely need to call that catering company we used for New Year's. I turned to Tommy, hoping he'd say something, but he was nodding along with his wife's plans, a smile on his face. Later that evening, I cornered Tommy in the kitchen. Mom, I know what you're going to say, he started, but it would mean so much to Amy. She's been feeling down lately, and this would really lift her spirits. This is my house, Tommy. You can't just decide to throw a party here without asking me first. Please, Mom, he gave me that look, the same one he used to give me when he wanted extra dessert as a child. I promise we'll take care of everything. I'll even hire a cleaning service to come in afterward. You won't have to lift a finger. I stood there, looking at my son, this man who used to be the considerate boy I raised, and felt my resolve crumbling. Fine, I sighed, already knowing I'd regret this decision. But I want everything back in its proper place afterward. Thanks, Mom. You're the best. He hugged me quickly and bounded up the stairs to tell Amy the good news. The week leading up to the party was a whirlwind of activity, none of which I was included in. Amy took over my house like a general planning a military campaign. Delivery trucks came and went, bringing everything from fancy tablecloths to crystal champagne flutes. She rearranged my furniture without asking, pushing my favorite reading chair into a corner to make room for a makeshift dance floor. I kept my distance, retreating to my office whenever possible. Still, I couldn't help but overhear her endless phone conversations about appetizer selections and wine choices. My grandmother's antique vase was moved to make room for elaborate flower arrangements, and my family photos were taken down to be replaced with string lights and paper lanterns. Friday afternoon, I left work early. I had even bought a new dress for the occasion, nothing too fancy, just a simple navy blue cocktail dress that I thought would be appropriate. As I pulled into my driveway, I could see cars already lining the street. I took a deep breath and walked up to my own front door. Inside, the house was barely recognizable. The furniture had been pushed against the walls, creating an open space in the center where people were already dancing. The air was thick with the smell of catering food and expensive perfume. Amy spotted me from across the room. She was wearing a short silver dress that caught the light from the newly installed party lights, her hair and makeup professionally done. She excused herself from the group she was talking to and walked over to me, her face fixed in an artificial smile.